Swing and a miss. It's all right, come on. But so it's, COVID is back, stronger than ever. So we might have another shutdown coming up. But it made me think about back over the summer when things started to loosen up. I went to a buddy's house, and it was my first time going out in a while. And he's got this beautiful Labrador. He's like 10 years old. His name is Sonny. He's the perfect dumb yellow lab that you see in the movies. He's really sweet. And as soon as I get there, I'm loving on him, I'm hugging him. And he jumps up and he starts just humping my leg. And I gotta tell you, it just felt good to be wanted after that long of being alone. And but I shouldn't have been surprised he did this, because I've taken my boys to my friend's house before, and their favorite thing to do is to lay down on the landing on the stairs between the kitchen and living room, have the dog run over them until it gets an erection. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, Sonny wants to fuck my entire family, but doesn't understand consent law. I think the dog ear thing confuses him. But yeah. Does anybody here ever feel like they relate to dogs more than they do other humans?
All the time.
Yeah, truly. Because I feel like I do sometimes. I also love to nap. I have no qualms about shitting outside when I have to. And I also get very, very excited at the idea of licking peanut butter off an erect penis. But before you guys think I'm some kind of pervert, it's only creamy, not crunchy, okay? I'm not a fucking weirdo. No fluff, for Christ's sake. But, over the summer, I did go to a bar once on a day they were having a meatball cooking contest, and I got asked to be a judge while I was there. And I don't think it's because of any culinary skill that I have, or because I'm a very famous local comedian. I think it was just because I was the fattest person there that didn't cook any meatballs. But I gotta say, the attention felt good once again. Just having all these strange men staring at me while their balls are in my mouth looking for my approval. I just felt like the king of spring break. It was really nice. But, it got me thinking that maybe I need to start trying to take care of this whole situation a little bit. Because I don't think I've successfully jumped since I was 11 years old. And a friend of mine is like, why don't you try doing Peloton? I was like, I can't ride a fucking bike, look at me. And like right now, I think playing a game of Duck, Duck, Goose would essentially be my Vietnam. It's like, you have to sit on the floor and not against the wall or a couch. You have to stand up quickly. Then you have to run, all while touching a bunch of weird children's heads. And then sit down. I'd rather sit on a wiffle ball bat than go through that. It got me thinking about some other things I'd rather do than play this Duck, Duck, Goose. Maybe Bible study. Listen to my sister have sex with her high school boyfriend, Mark, who used to call me a faggot. Or maybe sit down with my dad, look him in the eyes, and ask him why he didn't love us enough to stay. So maybe I'll just diet. But I do have 3 kids. They're right there, obviously. I'm responsible for 5 pregnancies, but fortunately only 3 took. So those are the alphas right there. And over the summer, I took him to go see the new Fast and the Furious movie. And what was nice is people didn't talk through the movie like they're talking through all of this. But, so I took him to see this movie, and there's spoilers ahead, but it's been out for 6 months, so fuck you guys if you haven't seen it yet. And the whole movie is essentially about magnets and friendship. And at one point in the movie, John Cena jumps a car off a cliff where it's caught by a magnetic jet and it flies off. Like, this is so fucking dumb. I look at the kids, they're loving it. No issues. Later in the movie, Ludacris flies a Pontiac Fiero into space, through a satellite, and lives. Like, this has to be it. I look over at them, they're still loving it. Then, near the end of the movie, Vin Diesel's character is talking to his son about someone who died and went to heaven. And that's when Oliver, raise your hand, leaned over and says to me, the ex-man goes, so fake, Dad. Like, you're goddamn right, that's my boy. So I'm doing something right. And, after the movie, we were talking about tattoos, because I have a lot of dumb tattoos, and he's like, you should get Jesus Sucks tattooed on your knuckles. And I was like, you know what? If I didn't need a 401k, I just might. But like I said, I have dumb tattoos, and I've had people ask me, like, Steve, why do you want that on your body forever? Like, your body's a temple. Like, whoa, my body is not a temple. My body's like the back alley of the Johnson City Rapido. So, it's whatever happens, happens, and we're going to be okay with it. But regardless of their views on religion, they're good kids. And I think some of the reasons that they're really good is I let them swear and curse as long as it's not like at school, at practice, or at your grandmother's house. But there's some instances where I encourage it. Over in Vesta, we live by a women's clinic where they perform abortions. There's always some fucking dipshits outside with their signs and their lawn chairs who have, not enough time on their hands, who are, giving women shit for their right to choose. And fuck that, right? So I tell my kids, whenever we drive by, you yell whatever you want at them. And usually they're not very creative. They'll just be like, fuck you suck! And it's like, true. But one time they teamed up, they went 1, 2, 3, and they yelled, babies suck! And I liked that. Because it's cool coming from like a chorus of prepubescent kids how bad babies are. But then I realized one day I'm gonna have to roll this back a little bit, because when we were driving past, Jack leaned out the window and yells, suck my dick and die! I was like, whoa! We're not trying to encourage pedophilia. We're just trying to make these guys feel like shit, okay? Now the windows stay up when we drive by. But they are good. But as they're getting older, they're getting better about like talking shit. So we can really kind of give it to each other. And usually growing up, their digs would be like, Dad, you're not funny. Dad, put a shirt on. Dad, your pull-out game sucks. But they're getting better now. Like Shay, my oldest son, he beat me at Madden for the first time. And that's like the 2021 version of beating me at one-on-one in basketball. And he stands up, he throws the remote, he goes, how's my ass taste now, Dad? Fucking bitter. But he earned that moment. That was his time, and I'm really proud of him for it. Then another time, they asked if they could listen to my old high school punk band in the car. So I found the old iPod, I threw it on, and they're kind of all listening, somewhat politely. And they look at each other with that who farted face. Like, who's gonna tell him? And then Shay asks me, he goes, so Dad, what's the name again? And this little fucker, after I tell him Faraday's discovery, with timing I'll never possess, takes 2 beats and goes, huh, so even the name sucked? But now next time they really get me, I've got one locked and loaded for them. If they, dig a little bit too deep and hurt my self-esteem, I'm just gonna look them right in the eyes and be like, oh yeah, you know what, bud? I fucked your mother! Yeah, a lot of times. So over the quarantine, I did remodel my downstairs bathroom, and my oldest son is a prolific toilet clogger. All right, like this kid lights up at the thought of eating A&W in public because he knows he gets to ruin somebody's day. Like he has never met a toilet he couldn't clog. And when he leaves that, he like walks out there like a peacock, like a fucking fuckboy on Sunday morning, so proud of what he just did. And he's told me that his goal in life is to clog 2 toilets with 1 shit. So anyone says the youth don't dream, they do. They're reaching for the sky. And now before you tell me, oh, I bet he just wipes too much. I do his laundry. He's not a very attentive wiper. These are not paper clogs. But anyway, so I'm remodeling my bathroom, and I'm at Lowe's, and I see a top-of-the-line toilet that's called the Challenger. And it's advertised as can swallow 15 golf balls in a single flush. Swallow. Which is gross. And I was like, you know what? You Challenger are coming home with me. And so we installed the Challenger a week there at their mother's house. And I used it all week, no problem. And I'm a fucking giant with a bad diet. And wouldn't you know, his first round on the Challenger, he fucking clogs it. And I gotta tell you guys, it's the most tragic time in my life that something called the Challenger was blown up. And thank you guys, that's all my time. I will be at Peterson's on 15th and Sciences with Michael on this Saturday, the 8th. Thank you guys very much. Give it up for Mike.
Hey, everybody. Give it up for him and his kids. Yeah, Steve's going to be opening Snidely's in Endicott.